He's been the hero, the villain, and the friend. With the world reborn, what will Tony Stark be next? Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then every video is dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This takes place in the all-new, all-different Marvel after Superior Iron Man and the Secret Wars. And no, we don't have any answers from Superior. Tony Stark looks at his new armor, and he is proud of himself once again. He did it. He made it better. He merged all of his armor types into one. It's armor that can change shape and color based on the mission, and armor that isn't attached to his biology so that it freaks people out. And it's not attached to his brain, making him all weird and evil. He has to take this out on the town. But Friday, his computer informs him that he'll be late for a date with the prestigious Dr. Amara Pereira. And while Tony Stark is going on his date with her, something else is happening in Stark Tower, Japan. A woman in a mask comes crashing out of the building, shooting ninjas that are falling to the ground below her. But back with Tony Stark's date, things seem to be going well, except that the good doctor knows Tony's reputation as a womanizing playboy. He insists that he is changing. Like if he was trying to impress her, he'd have Thor fly in for a visit or something. The doctor turns to eat her cake and tells him to just be Tony Stark. She doesn't need all of the special treatment. So as Thor was beginning to land, Tony begins to wave her away. Go. Tony walks over to her. I know you. I read your papers, and I bet you have 5 change-the-world things ready to go in your mind that you don't want to release for fear of what it'll do to the world. She looks down. I have 1. I have the cure for the mutant gene. Tony is in shock, and he offers to help her lock her mind away from psychic spies because she doesn't want to cure the mutant gene. It would turn into a law to be vaccinated. Tony looks her in the eyes, and Amara looks at him, and they lean in to kiss each other when she asks what he's doing. She's heard his reputation and knows that he's a horn dog. So he has to wait. Maybe next time they can kiss. Then Friday appears before him to let him know that Whitney Frost is back. She was last seen in Latveria, so Tony suits up and rockets off to see what he can find. And once he lands, he finds the most shocking development yet. Dr. Doom with a fixed face smiling and welcoming him. He raises his arm ready to blast Dr. Doom, and he does with the full force of his beams, only to have Dr. Doom block it with a magical spell. Friday confirms that it is in fact Dr. Doom. All well and good. Dr. Doom confirms this by reminding Tony of the time that they traveled back in time to the court of King Arthur, and they had a rousing adventure. You tried to murder me and leave me there. I said I remembered it fondly, not that you did. So Tony goes into full Hulkbuster mode, only to have it blocked by another magical shield. Are you finished? I'm here to track down Whitney Frost, Madame Mask. And I could use your help on this, as you two have history. She has embarked on a very dangerous treasure hunt, accumulating powerful items from around the world that she shouldn't have. Infinity Stones, Cosmic Cubes, Web Shooters. Dr. Doom leads Tony down the stairs and into his secret lab, where he's holding the Wamawatum. He then hands it to Tony to ensure Whitney won't get it, and to get Tony to trust him. And he then tells Tony to triangulate the energy in this castle and he'll find Whitney. Then with the snap of his fingers, Iron Man finds himself in the Bronx Zoo. Whitney went to go meet her contact, and she informs her the intel was wrong. The wand that she got from Dr. Doom's castle is a fake, and then she shoots her contact. She walks into the shower and takes a moment to relax and clean up, but once she comes back into the hotel room, she finds Tony Stark sitting there holding her mask and looking at it without his armor. He asks her about the artifacts that she is looking for, and he finds that Dr. Doom was telling him the truth. Could it be that Dr. Doom was actually trying to do the right thing? But Whitney takes this chance to lunge at Tony, only to be thrown back by his armor that he is wearing, but he had in stealth mode. He looks at her hand with the X-ray vision in his suit, and he tells her that she just broke it in 3 places. In response, she taps him, and magic explodes around him as she yells, "Die!" The suit goes into lockdown, and Friday can tell Tony is going to die, but he isn't ready to do anything drastic, and he firmly believes that Whitney is just in over her head, and he tries to think of a way out of this. But Friday has her own plan. She is programmed to keep Tony alive no matter what, and she causes a massive explosion as the suit jumps off of Tony, throwing him out of the building. It then reforms on its own and it blasts Whitney while Tony is telling Friday, "I don't want this!" Friday tells him that it's too late. The suit is in remote mode and it begins blasting Whitney with everything. The whole time, Tony lands on the rooftop controlling the suit, trying to not hurt her too severely. So Whitney teleports away. Realizing that something has changed, Tony calls up his friend Dr. Strange, and after a quick visit with his new female friend, in which he asks her Hail Hydra to see her response and she tells him that she has no idea what he's talking about, he heads off to see Dr. Strange. He explained that Dr. Doom was back and healed. While he didn't have their kick-ass facial hair, he did look good. Doctor Strange finds the whole situation weird, but he's more weirded out by Dr. Doom having a Wand of Watum and Whitney hunting these artifacts, because Doctor Strange has the Wand of Watum. Dr. Doom got his from another dimension. He then sees Whitney is trying to pull magical energy from the other dimension and informs Tony that she is currently in California. I know this is magic and all, Strange, but can I handle this on my own? I was kind of hoping you'd say that. I have a lot going on right now. Anything I can help with? Do you have a key to Dimension Q? Not on me. So Tony holds up his hand for a high five. Thanks, Doc! He then holds that position because Doctor Strange isn't returning it. No. Come on! I told you I would never do that again. You can do it, Doctor Strange! And he holds that position. And he holds it until Doctor Strange finally high fives him. Awesome facial hair, bros! I hate you. He heads off for California right away in his new stealth mode where he doesn't find Whitney, just an audio tape that she left for him. She apologized for the night before, but warned him not to come after her. She will kill him, and he's not the only one looking for her. At that moment, ninjas throw him out of the window. He finds himself on the beach in the moonlight, battling against ninjas that are throwing him around like a toy. After he gets tired of being their plaything, he activates a new armor mode, Samurai Iron Man, complete with a new Iron Man samurai sword. He begins fighting back, and he's able to stop them once he separates them so that they can't coordinate their attacks against him. And eventually he wins as he learns that they are wearing tech suits. Tech suits are kind of his thing. And then they all short out, killing themselves. Tony is stumped as to where to go next, but after a charity appearance at a hospital where he brings children-sized versions of his suits, Dr. Doom shows up again to inform him that he found Whitney at Mary Jane Watson's new club. Whitney was there to get another artifact a gentleman in the club was holding onto, and Doom and Iron Man showed up to stop her by trapping her in an energy bubble specifically designed to contain her. This just makes her madder, and she takes a hold of Doom. Friday then reports to Tony that she is also attempting to break into his armor, just before Whitney lets loose a magical explosion, throwing back Doom and Tony. She then jumps on Tony and begins tearing his mask off of his suit so she can disable the suit. Then, out of nowhere, Mary Jane cracks Whitney over the head with a mic stand. She knocked off Whitney's mask and right away realized the problem with that. Luckily, it was enough to break her hold on Tony and Doom gets back into the fight, blasting her with everything that he has, while Tony grabs Mary Jane and gets her out of the fight. As Mary Jane runs off, Tony asks Friday who that girl was. Mary Jane Watson, supermodel. Cool. That's when Tony sees the demon possessing Whitney as her face is twisted with power, with fangs growing out of her mouth, and he realizes she had lost to him. So he apologizes to her and he lets his suit go. It forms around her, trapping her in his battle armor, and then it locks her down in place. With Stark in control of the suit, he lays her down so that Doom can perform an exorcism on her, freeing her of her demon and power finally. In a final explosion though, Mary Jane's club is completely ruined and destroyed. So much for a fresh start away from New York. With her finally free of the demon, Doctor Strange teleports in and takes her so that he can heal her up. And as he's teleporting away, Tony thanks him for taking care of her. Doctor Strange looks at him. I had to. We're awesome facial hair, bros. Tony is stunned. Wow. All of this was worth it just for that. 3 days later, Tony tracks down Mary Jane because he blew up her new club and she doesn't know what to do. Superheroes ruined her life again. So he offers her a job as his new PA. And that is the first 5 issues of the new Invincible Iron Man arc. Personally, I'm loving the direction they're going with this, and I hope you do too. If you want to find out what's next, go ahead and check out issue 6 to continue the story.